you guys, it's Lisa. We are going to work in my art journal. I am determined to finish this art journal sometime in the near future. I've sped this really fast up so that I hope I could keep up with my little hands here. So I'm going to put down some gesso and some titanium white on this piece of mixed media paper, and it is out of my Grumbacher In and Out art journal. I wanted the background to be really white. I'm going to use some different techniques today, and I would love to hear what your thoughts were in the comments below. I really didn't have a plan, so I was really winging it. So everything is down, and I am giving that a dry. And we're going to be working with some jelly plates. But first, I just had some ideas. I wanted some red stripes. I wanted some orange polka dots. I wanted white polka dots with orange background. Don't ask me why. It's just what I was feeling. And I wanted some purple background and white stars. So I grabbed these three colors out of my Arteza paints. This is the Vintage Tones, and I will link them below. It is a great box of paints. I really like the colors, and I think you get 20 tubes of paint, and these are acrylic paints, for I believe it's $23, and then it's free shipping. So you cannot beat that deal. It's just a little over $1 a tube. What a great value. So I'll link them below if you're interested. Go ahead and use the links. Those links are provided for you so that it allows me to have a little bit of income for my channel, and there is no cost to you. I grabbed out my gel plate. I am sorry, it is called a gel press. And there are all different styles of these, and the one that I am using is this small rectangle, and of course I will link it for you below. I'm just looking for the description here. It is not a 5x7, it's smaller than that. I want to say a 3x4. And I'm just getting that paint down. I don't know why I needed white polka dots with orange background. It was just something I wrote down, and it's just what I needed to do this week. So I'm using a stencil by Stampers Anonymous, and I will link that below for you if you're interested. I really like this stencil, and you can see by the wear and tear I use it a lot. Now these little ones I was showing you here, I have a square, a triangle, and a circle, and these are called Gel Press Petites, and they are really super great for creating some jelly plate backgrounds. I really like this product, and there's 3 in a package. I believe maybe around $19 for all 3. And again, like I said, I will link them below. And if I forget, you guys are really great at messaging me and saying, oh, where did you get this, or something like that. I definitely do not mind that you do that. Go right ahead, because sometimes I get carried away editing my videos and I forget. You know how things happen. But you can see I am keeping my papers over to the right hand side there, so I am going to have some wonderful jelly plate prints that I can use in future projects. I showed my friend Kathy how to use the jelly plate a few weeks back at the cottage, and she made some amazing cards. And if you want to see that, you let me know. I will go right ahead and do that. It was really fun. We had a lot of fun Valentine colors. She needed some Valentines for her grandkids, and we used some black paint, and we used some stamps, and we used some ink, and we used some white splatters, and it was great fun. And it was so fun to see her just get crazy on it and create, because that's what jelly plate printing is all about, just letting it take over and having a great time. Okay, back to the piece. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm giving this a dry, and my thought was I needed to seal this because I am going to go over the whole piece with black gesso. Yes, I know I'm crazy, but this idea was just rambling around in my brain, and I needed to see if it was going to work. So I am sealing the whole piece with my matte medium, and I'm making sure that nothing is smearing, and I'm going to give this a dry. Now, this great big stencil that I have here is from Crafter's Workshop. I got it a few years back at a stamp convention, and oh my gosh, wouldn't it be great to go to a stamp convention again? I am so hoping that we can do that this year, and I will let you know when things are coming up in case you're in my area and you could possibly go. So what I'm doing is I am masking off some of this stencil because I want that big flower, and I want that flower on the bottom left. I'm going right over all of my background that I've created, and I'm putting that big stencil right in the middle. And I am not pushing it down 100%. I don't want to pull that black gesso up around the flower. I want to take the black gesso away from the inside of that stencil, that flowered area. Now, I believe this is called reverse stenciling. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, please let me know. I will not be offended. I am just a crafter. I do not know everything. That's for darn sure. I'm learning right along with you guys, and I'm loving every minute of it. So I'm using baby wipes, and I'm wiping up that black gesso, and look at that effect. So I'm going to have to take my stencil back to my kitchen sink, and I'm going to have to clean that up. But right now I'm just taking that tape up, and I'm going to tape around the stenciled areas that I want to focus on. I want those tulips on the bottom middle, and I want that flower at the top right. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving my tape around and masking off those areas. And I guess I needed that flower there at the bottom right also. So I'm going ahead and using that tape. Now this tape was given to me by my friend Debbie Ducatz, and it is just a mixed media craft tape. It's kind of like a painter's tape. It just so happens to be black. So it's in my stash, and you know me, I'm going to use it up. So I'm deciding where I'm putting these flowers, and I'm going to put down my gesso. And you could see there that I am doing this in little areas because that gesso does dry, and we don't want it to be totally dry because you won't get it back up with your baby wipe. So I'm just doing it one section at a time. So now I'm looking at doing those tulips, and I'm putting that gesso down and then pulling up that gesso with my damp baby wipe. And because we sealed the piece underneath, that allows us to get that bright white and all of that really cool gel press printing in the background to show through. Now I wanted this piece to be real whimsical, and I'm thinking that that's going to happen with these fun flowers that I had. And then as I was doing this, I'm like, okay, well, I need probably some leaves. I wanted to do that one more flower there to give it a balance to the whole piece. And then we're going to take my stencil to the sink and clean it. Now I am going to show you the brush that I use to clean my stencils. Of course, I can't take you to my sink, but I will show you. Here is the it's kind of a nail brush that I use, and I just put it down in my sink and gently go over the stencil, being very careful not to catch it and snag it and ruin my stencil. Now I wanted to put some of those leaves over the top of the black gesso. Everything is dry now, of course, and I am doing a little bit more of that masking on my piece here, and I grabbed out a really neat teal green color. At first I grabbed out kind of a avocado green, which I am really, really big into. I love that color, but it gave it too much of a Christmassy feel. And I wanted these colors to be real bright and vibrant against that black. So I'm just using a makeup brush, and I'm just carefully dabbing through that stencil, and I'm being very careful not to push too much paint through that stencil. My makeup sponge, is almost dry, but it has, the acrylic paint on it. So being very, very careful with that. And I'm going to add the leaves all around the piece here and give it some of that really neat green turquoise color to add some more interest to the black gesso. And like I said, I wanted to do some real whimsical feel for this, so I'm going to grab out my white and black paint pens, and I also did grab a orange paint Sharpie, what is it called? Paint pen, oil-based Sharpie in orange. And you'll see in the pictures at the end how I went ahead and did that. Just getting that green paint off of my stencil before I did some of the smaller leaves, because I didn't want to get that green where I was not interested in having it. So stay tuned to the end. I know this was super fast, and I will show you the pictures. And I just wanted to get something out there for you. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So here's how it's turning out. Here's all my wonderful paint pens. And I'm going to go ahead and add dots and circles and a border, and you'll see all of the finished product in the end. I hope you enjoyed this piece, something totally different. I've not done anything like this before. It was just something, like I said, was rolling around in my head, and it needed to come out to see if it would actually turn out. And it's pretty cool. It's just another piece in my art journal, and it had lots and lots of different techniques there for you. So I'm hoping you like it. Give it a thumbs up. Check out those links and comment below. I would love to have you subscribe if you're interested in my crafty projects. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks so much for stopping by.